Good morning, everyone. TGIF, thank God it's Friday, right? I was hoping to come to Rochester last night and put my shorts on and maybe go to Nick's and get a garbage plate, or go to SUNY Geneseo where I went to college and stop at Aunt Cookie's. But I came out of the gym last night and it was snowing, so what the heck is going on with the weather out in Rochester? It's April 20th, as most of you know, but somebody said the other day that it's like actually the 105th day of January. I know I'm ready for some warm weather, but I want to thank everybody for being here to help us kick off our No Empty Chair campaign, where state and local law enforcement partner with our communities in high schools to prevent tragedies on our roads involving teen drivers. My name is Chuck DeWeese. I'm the Assistant Commissioner of the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Just not to bore you, but we take a lot of money from the federal government, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and we give grants out to police entities and traffic safety educators. So our job is education and enforcement to reduce fatalities on our highways. And traffic fatalities for teens, they're high. They make up about 4% of the driving population, but they're involved in about 8 to 10% of the motor vehicle personal injury crashes across New York State. So just when you think about driving, you got to think about just drive. There's a lot of companies that talk about just drive, and there's a lot of truth to that. Put everything away, put your distractions away, and just drive. So the campaign is twofold. It's an enforcement and education campaign. The enforcement piece, we ask law enforcement all across the state to be out in force next week in and around high schools, and each day there'll be a different campaign. There'll be speeding, seatbelt, impaired driving, and passing school buses and distracted driving. So each day the law enforcement will be out in and around schools looking for those violations. And the education pieces, we want to get to all the high schools across New York State. We have posters that we put up just to remind kids it's prom and graduation season, make smart decisions, and be there for your prom and graduation.
Earlier this year, I was involved in a car accident, and it is something that I'm not proud of, obviously, but I knew I had to share it today because I wanted to hit home for some of these kids, because I know as a novice driver, it's really easy to get in the habit of driving carelessly, and I think it's really, really important to realize and note that an accident can happen to anyone that you know, and it could turn into a tragedy, and luckily it didn't in my case. But
I had lost my son exactly 17 years ago today. I'm here today to talk to you on a day that can be the worst day of my life every year. I could not imagine being a first responder, to be around such a scene as ugly as this is, and wait till you hear it, and to actually go to a parent's home and tell them that their son is dead. I actually had to be the one that had to say, "Are you telling me he's dead?" The reason why today is the hardest day of my life right now is because 17 years he was on earth. Well, 17 years he's in heaven. As my son has been gone for exactly how long he was alive, 17 years. And he unfortunately made the wrong choice, and he was driving while drunk, and he was binge drinking prior to that. So all those things that teenagers think that they got planned out correctly with a DD driving and etc. did not pan out that way.
Could happen anytime while they're driving, but especially those Friday, Saturday nights, if they're out with friends, things can happen, and I always worry about those early morning calls on Sunday morning, and there could be, horrible news delivered.